Bro, I don't know why WWE's got to keep doing these boring ass shows. They got to keep doing weekly ass nonsense shit that's gonna take us nowhere. That's not gonna progress anything. And you wonder why nobody watches wrestling. It's really unacceptable, bro. I'm really tired of this shit. We're gonna break down segment by segment about what happened tonight on Smackdown. We start off with CM Punk. He comes out to Chicago. Chicago starts singing his song and start chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Why the fuck are the crowd singing? Like really, like Europe started this whole thing. Shout out to the Europeans. But like, why they gotta do all this shit? Like really, now America's gonna be doing this shit. And it's really stupid. You know what I'm saying? CM Punk comes out. He says absolutely nothing but hi Chicago. Hey Chicago. This is the best audience tonight. Yay. I am the main eventer of WrestleMania. I am the main event of WrestleMania. I'm going to main event WrestleMania. Like, shut up, dude. We already know this by now. Basically, he said his goal is to make new fans, right? He says goal is to make new fans every night. And he said he wants to thank 16,000 people who are in Chicago. I'm shocked that 16,000 people are at SmackDown. I'm surprised there ain't at least fucking 5,000 there. There should be at least 1,000 because of how shit this show is. You know what I mean? So basically, he says, I'm going to beat Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns' ass at the main event of WrestleMania. Like, he gets so hyped up. Every time he says, at the main event of WrestleMania. Like, dude, chill out. It's just night one. It's just night one. You know? Paul Heyman comes out. He says the same old catchphrase, right? He says, I apologize for being late. Blah blah blah. He says you deserve it. You deserve to be in the main event of WrestleMania. He says, remember how I talked about how you should take me with you when the Bloodline was beating me up every week last year and put me through the announce table, and I got I called the tribal chief and I told him that I'm gonna get you to help him at Survivor Series. You know what I'm saying? So he talks about the thing in Survivor Series, but CM Punk teamed up with the Bloodline, right? So nobody cares, right? He basically says. But I I almost fell asleep during this promo. He talks about the whole favorite once again, right? I have no interest in this shit. I don't know why we gotta keep talking about it. Like, basically, the favor is that CM Punk and Paul Heyman gonna form a faction. Or CM Punk is gonna have Paul Heyman on his side. We already know this by now. We don't even have to talk about it, you know? Up next, we have Ray Phoenix versus Nathan Frazier. They do a back and forth match. Ray hits the drop kick. The crowd starts cheering for Ray Phoenix. I don't see anything interesting about this dude. At the same time, I mean, I haven't seen his matches outside of WWE, so I really don't care, right? They basically say, let's go Phoenix. Let's go Phoenix. Whatever the fuck they're saying, right? And Nathan Frazier gets the drop kick on Ray. And then Ray hits the MMB on Nathan. 1, 2, 3, right? We get to the promo. Up next, we have a promo which is really boring as hell. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Wade Barrett started off with the interview. He says, I'm going to start this interview by having you women have a boring ass debate once again, obviously, right? So the crowd starts chanting, Tiffy time, right? And then Charlotte says, that is adorable. She says, that is adorable. Wade says, why do you choose Tiffany Stratton as your WrestleMania opponent? Charlotte says she kept begging for her, so I am the gift. I am the gift that's in her life. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I don't even care, right? She said, so basically she says there's no comparison between us. Okay? Again, another shit show. Another shit show. I can't even do a review on this damn shit because, like, what the hell am I even watching? They basically go back and forth, right? Charlotte says, do you think you're the first to ever said that, right? After Tiffany says, you are just another second, wrestler to your dad, right? So you're just a number two to your dad, right? She basically says you're another copy of Ric Flair. Like, everybody says this. Like, everybody who faced Charlotte Flair has said this, that no matter how many times you're just next to your father. Like, you're just a number two next to your father, whatever the fuck it is. Nobody cares, right? Because at the same time, so what if she wins so many titles? Tiffany says that at 25, you were drinking and playing volleyball in your dad's basement, right? She says, I am world champion at 25. Well, that proves the point that Triple H doesn't know what he's doing. Why is Tiffany champion right now? You know, she is boring. She can't prove her promo skills right now. The whole Tiffany time thing is really boring. They come out here on some Nickelodeon shit that's really boring me out. She says that you may be the queen in WWE, but you ain't shit. Okay? Nobody cares, right? This is a boring ass promo, bro. These women do not have any promo skills. I have no interest in this shit, right? A lot of people saying Charlotte burying Tiffany, blah, blah, blah. Well, today, this week, these girls really suck ass, right? Up next, we have B-Vab versus Naomi. This is a boring match. I don't care about it, right? Naomi gets a mic after the match, after she wins. She says, "Where you at, Jade? I'm out here." Jade comes in. She starts beating up Naomi and the security guards. Nick Aldis comes out and make an announcement for WrestleMania 41. It would be Naomi versus Jade Gargill. Great. Nobody cares. Hopefully, let's get over this match. Let's just move on, right? Up next, Nick Aldis does a promo. He says, "Welcome to Kevin Owens," right? He welcomes him out because Kevin Owens announces the neck injury. He says, "I'm going to be out. I have a neck injury for 4 months now. And ever since the Royal Rumble, it's been getting worse." So he basically says, "I don't know when I'll be wrestling." So Kevin Owens will be out for WrestleMania. He will not be competing. So that leaves Randy Orton without an opponent. So Randy Orton comes out, right? He wants to know what's going on. Nick Aldis says, "I hate to tell you this, but I guess you have no position or no match at WrestleMania." That Randy Orton hits an RKO. An RKO. I'm surprised they ain't no punk kick. Goddamn. And Randy Orton said that Randy Orton gave 2 checks to Nick Aldis. Remember when he returned, he gave him 2 checks? He said, "That's another one when I do an RKO." So Randy Orton already has another check in advance. So Randy's good. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we already knew the RKO was going to come out of nowhere. Because imagine something stupid with this Kevin Owens rivalry, right? And Randy Orton gets so mad and just RKOs Nick Aldis. But at the same time here, what the hell is Randy Orton doing at WrestleMania? What is he doing? Who is he facing? You know what I'm saying? We're just going to leave this legend out like this? It's really unacceptable shit. Nobody wants to see this, bro. Literally, Randy Orton should be facing somebody for the world title. But this is unacceptable shit. Anyways, we go to the main event. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman come out. Roman Reigns comes out in a limbo. Paul Heyman comes out with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns does the shortest entrance in history. So I think this entrance is like 20 seconds, right? He comes out really mad. He says, "Chicago, acknowledge me." So he basically says, "Wise man, yes, my tribal chief. Is he here?" Paul Heyman says, "Yes, my tribal chief." The crowd starts chanting, "CM Punk, CM Punk." Roman Reigns says, "Yes, him. I still don't understand how you deal with him." And he says, "Wise man, yes, my tribal chief. Is he still talking about this favor?" Paul Heyman says, "Yes, my tribal chief." Roman Reigns says, "How do you deal with this idiot?" Roman says, "CM Punk wouldn't be back here if it wasn't for me." Well, that's wrong, because CM Punk got here because of Triple H, not because of you, dumbass. You understand? And he's like, "He's in the main event because of me." Bro, we already know this. We know he's in the main event because of you. Because Paul Heyman said he could be in the main event. It went to you. You understand? He basically says Chicago isn't smart. He says CM Punk has fought everybody. He fought guys like my cousin, The Undertaker, and didn't fight in the main event of WrestleMania. And he says you were even champion for 434 days, but never main event of WrestleMania. And you hype this thing up, bro, like it's a big deal. It's just night one. You're facing a 10-time WrestleMania main eventer. It's basically what Roman Reigns is saying. Seth Rollins comes out and he says the same old shit. "I hate CM Punk. You got him in the way. Well, this is going to affect you. CM Punk is going to come out here with his favor, blah, blah, blah." I don't want to hear nothing he has to say. Seth Rollins comes out here looking like he's in solitary. You understand? I'm glad he's not wearing this goofy-ass dress. But it is what it is. He comes out here looking like he's ready to fight in war or some shit. But it is what it is. CM Punk comes out angry. He says to Paul Heyman, he says, "Paul, this goes back to 20 years ago, where people said I should be fired. They told you to fire me, and you said no. You had my back, and I said, Paul, I need you. Without you, I wouldn't be here. What can I do to make this thing better?" And Paul Heyman, he basically, you know what I'm saying? Basically, CM Punk brings up a past where Paul Heyman is not there for him, but he was there for him. He said he wants him to main event WrestleMania. Then you get basically CM Punk's favorite for Paul Heyman for years was to him the main event WrestleMania. That's what Paul Heyman wanted for CM Punk, right? Which is really stupid because nobody cares. We already know this shit. CM Punk wants the main event WrestleMania. Basically, you understand? And he basically says we go back on the road with guys like Big Show, RVD, you and me. We all put ECW on the map. And he says, I'm going to force you, my tribal chief, to deal with us at WrestleMania. And he says at WrestleMania, Paul Heyman will be at my corner. Yay. Everybody knew this shit, right? Paul Heyman starts crying, right? And Roman's like, I made this guy relevant. I brought it in. Without him, he wouldn't be here right now. You understand? And this is like, bro, this reminds me of a fucking conversation with like a mother. And then this is like and there's a huge argument with like a father and his son, right? This is what I'm seeing here. So this is how boring this promo is, and I have no interest in it, right? He says, Paul Heyman, you better fix your face. And he says, you won't have his back. He says, I made you relevant in WWE. Roman says, you better say no. Paul Heyman starts crying, right? And Roman says, you have one more time. You better say no. Paul Heyman says, no, my tribal chief, I won't do that. So he starts breaking down as he says that, and he starts pushing Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's like, he said it while we go. And then CM Punk comes from behind and gives Roman Reigns and GTS and whoops his ass. You understand? So we give this an ending to the show here, right? There was nothing new here because we all know CM Punk and Paul Heyman were going to have each other's backs at WrestleMania, with Paul Heyman being at CM Punk's side. So this ain't no surprise here. You understand? Roman's going to be mad. Everybody knows this shit, bro. This is how predictable WWE can be. I don't know what the hell the word is at this point. It's like WWE is giving us everything that we already know. You understand? Because they're so whack. Why can't you do anything different? Why can't you have Paul Heyman turn on everybody? And Paul Heyman's nowhere to be found until next year. You understand? Everybody's going to do their own thing. And then he returns with Brock Lesnar. You understand? But nobody's thinking about that because of the whole cash scandal thing that's going on with Brock. So Brock Lesnar won't be here anytime soon. So we got to, accept it for what it is. So at WrestleMania Night 1, we're going to deal with this stupid-ass triple threat match, right? We're probably going to deal with some Paul Heyman, CM Punk, Roman Reigns shit, right? It's going to be insane, right? I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. In my opinion, I'm looking forward to this match. So I'll be watching WrestleMania to see what the hell is going on. So like, comment, share, subscribe on this video. Let me know what you guys think about this show. I'll see you guys for the next video.